Okay, so in this question, they're asking us to find the equation of a cubic with x-intercepts 1 and 3, y-intercept 9, and it passes through the point -1, 8. So the general formula, or equation of a cubic is written like this. Y is equal to A. A is the amount by which it's stretched or compressed. And then it's multiplied by the 3 different roots. That means the x-intercepts that the curve passes the x-axis at. So I've represented those by B, C, and D. So let's start filling in what we know. So we don't know how much it's stretched by yet. It's something we're going to have to figure out. But we do know that 2 of the roots are 1 and 3. So we can replace B and C with 1 and 3. And then let's leave the last thing as x minus d, where the d is the third root that we don't know. So we're given that's passed through -1, 8. So the first thing we should do is actually try and expand this so we can kind of see how to group terms. So I'm going to start off by expanding this part over here. That gives you x squared minus 4x plus 3. Then that's multiplied by x minus d. And then if we keep going, it gets a little messy, but x cubed minus dx squared minus 4x squared plus 4dx plus 3x minus 3d, which is equal to ax cubed, when you add the a in, minus a dx squared minus 4ax squared plus 4adx plus 3ax minus 3ad. And now we can see that some of the terms have common powers. So x squared is in this, and x squared is also in that. But also x is here, and x is here too. So let's start grouping the terms together. Okay, so y is equal to, so x cubed is the cube is the only term there. Then we need to find the coefficients of x squared and group them. So we can actually, since they both have minus signs, just write minus and then brackets it. Makes it easier because I don't like negative numbers so much. It becomes 4a plus adx squared. Then we group the other two. It's a lot easier, this one. 4ad plus 3ax minus 3ad. So one thing we should already be aware of, that we're given the y-intercept as 9. So all these terms, I'm going to have them. All these terms over here have x in them. So that means when in the y-intercept, the coordinate of x is 0. So all of these terms will also be crossed out, leaving only this term left. So that essentially means that -3ad equals 9. So that's one of our equations. It's going to be kind of like simultaneous equations. The other bit of info we have is that it passes through -1, 8. So let's substitute 8 in the y part and then put -1 in all the x areas. It becomes 8 equals a times -1 cubed minus, and then brackets 4a plus ad to power of times -1 to power of 2 plus 4ad plus 3a times -1 minus 3ad. So this becomes, and then -1 cubed is just -1, so it becomes -a minus, and then this just cancels out, it's just 1. So that means we're still left with minus 4a, and then minus ad because of the sign. Then plus 4, never mind, sorry, not plus. Because this is a -1, it makes the whole thing negative, so -4ad minus 3a minus 3ad. So that means that 8 is also equal to, so let's combine the a terms and then the ad terms. So a terms become -a minus 4a minus 3a is just -8a. -ad minus 4ad minus 3ad is also -8, and that's ad. So, of course, over here we can already see that 8 is common, and we can factor this out. So it becomes 8 is equal to -8a. We can factor the -8a out to give us 1 plus d. And if we divide both sides by -8, we get -1 is equal to a times 1 plus d. And then we can even go a step further, and then recognizing that in our other equation, which is -3ad is equal to 9, we can recognize that AD is in there. So why don't we just find an expression for AD so we can substitute that in there and solve the simultaneous equations? Well, if we drag the A to the other side, we have an expression for AD right here. And we can plug that right in. We can substitute AD as -1 minus A. So -3 times -1 minus A is equal to 9, which becomes 3 plus 3A is equal to 9. And 3A is equal to 6 when you drag it around. Then that means A is equal to 2. So it's stretched by a factor of 2. Now we need to find the value of D, which is the third root. So we can just substitute this back into this equation, which gives us -3 times 2 times D is equal to 9. So -60 is equal to 9. And divide by everything by -6 gives us D is equal to 9 over -6, which is equal to -3 over 2. So the other root is -3 over 2. So we can write the equation out using what we know as y is equal to 2 times the two roots that we know, and then times by the final root. And we can leave it in factored form because it's still writing the equation down. And that's our final answer. That's the equation.